Welcome back, my silver-haired scavengers, my bifocaled bushrangers, my knobby-kneed knights of the gravel realm. Hobo Yeti here, reporting from under a corrugated drainage pipe that hums like a bassoon every time a semi-truck barrels overhead. Got my gear spread out like a yard sale no sane person would stop at, a magnifying glass dangling like a wizard's charm, a cane leaning against a bucket that doubles as a drum kit, and socks so thick they could be registered as livestock. Today's road sermon? How to keep going when you're over 60, homeless, and every joint in your body has formed a labor union against you. These aren't just tricks. They're crooked little survival miracles. Some are practical, some are absurd. All are designed to keep you alive long enough to grumble about the weather. Let's roll. 1. Embrace the Walmart chariot. Once the calendar flips past 60, your joints turn into disgruntled tenants. Knees knock on the ceiling, hips file eviction notices, and pride still insists you don't need that electric scooter by the door. Ignore pride. Scooters aren't defeat, they're cavalry horses dressed in corporate plastic. You climb aboard, thumb the throttle, and suddenly the barren wasteland of canned soup aisles becomes your personal cruise line. Breeze past the frozen peas like a retiree on shore leave, wave at toddlers, honk politely at slow walkers, and treat the dairy case as the Panama Canal. Bonus tip, hang a cane like a sword and bark nautical orders. Punchline, 3 miles per hour never looked so legendary. 2. Pillow between the knees, sanity between the ears. Sleep after 60 is less rest and more battlefield truce. Your knees bang together like cymbals, hips grind like rusty farm machinery, and the ground beneath you might as well be poured concrete. Enter the humble hoodie. Roll it, fold it, wedge it between your legs, and witness the miracle. Bones quiet, spine realigns, and the dirt's hostility softens into bearable neutrality. It doesn't need to be a designer pillow. An old hoodie or blanket works just fine. Luxury seekers can invest in a body pillow, but even a rolled towel can save your sanity. And if raccoons peek into your tent, they'll be baffled by your strange silhouette. Punchline? It's not comfort, it's diplomacy. Peace talks between your skeleton and the earth. 3. Magnifying glass. Senior edition. Eyes fade, print shrinks, and suddenly soup cans read like Sumerian tablets. That's where the magnifying glass comes in. Hung from a lanyard, it becomes less tool and more talisman. Whip it out at bus stops, decipher cryptic pharmacy labels, or glare suspiciously at the Best By date on off-brand cheese. In sunlight, the utility doubles. Instant fire starter for damp tinder, mosquito zapper, or improvised ramen heater if you angle it right. Children might laugh until you demonstrate your light-bending sorcery. Suddenly you're less old guy squinting and more wizard adjusting the cosmos. It changes the script, no longer victim of fading eyesight, but wielder of controlled fire. Punchline, forget canes and walkers, this is the lightsaber of geriatrics. 4. The belt knife. Advertisement, clip a small fixed blade to your belt and your whole presence shifts. It's not cosplay, it's communication. To strangers, that flash of steel says, useful, not helpless. It opens cans, slices apples, carves tent stakes, and wrestles stubborn packaging into submission. The psychology matters too. Feeling the handle when you pat your side is grounding. It tells your body, we are not prey. Trouble seekers often read tools as boundaries, and even a modest knife broadcasts competence. You don't need a Rambo blade strapped across your chest, subtle as louder. A 3-inch utility blade is a handshake that says both, I can peel an orange, and I can defend myself. Punchline, it's not a knife, it's your resume in metal form. 5. Cane. Walking stick, poking stick, pride stick. At 60, a cane isn't surrender, it's evolution. The third leg you grow not out of bone, but wood or aluminum. Walking? Obvious. But the cane does more. It probes murky puddles, pokes firewood in place, fends off feral dogs, and becomes a percussion instrument when tapped on concrete. A cane waved with intent can quiet even the rowdiest squirrels who assume you're summoning lightning. There's also the stagecraft. Strike the ground once, and you're suddenly Moses parting suburban traffic. Lean it against a chair, and it doubles as a coat hook. Forget frailty, this is utility disguised as medical gear. Punchline, the cane isn't a crutch. It's authority in stick form, dignity on demand, and a license to strut with thunder. 6. Sock layer cake. Your feet become royalty after 60, fragile monarchs prone to rebellion, blisters cripple faster than broken bones. Trick? Double sock diplomacy. First layer thin, snug, wicking sweat away like a devoted servant. Second layer, thick, absorbing friction and shielding tender skin from mutiny. The combo keeps toes dry, extends boot life, and saves you from Quasimodo auditions at dawn. Even the smell improves, slightly. Rotate pairs, wash when possible, and guard them like treasure. Feet are your transport, your independence, your survival hinge. When they fail, everything collapses. Punchline, double sock living doesn't make your boots luxurious. It just transforms a meat grinder into a shabby but livable apartment for toes. Sometimes survival isn't a mansion, just plumbing that still works. 7. Tent socks, the Ritz for your feet. One pair, sacred, uncompromised. Tent-only socks are the gospel of sanity. They never touch mud, sweat, or trail grime. At night, you wash your feet, rag, wipe, baby wipe, whatever you've got, then slip into the soft reliquary of those sacred socks. For 15 minutes, the world isn't cold plastic tarp and aching bones. It's spa day. The psychological reset is massive. The body remembers civilization isn't gone, just temporarily suspended. These socks become ritual, reward, and reason. If they vanish, despair follows. Protect them like currency. Bonus, their fluff also confuses mice, who pause in awe before nibbling elsewhere. Punchline? Tent socks aren't just fabric, they're foot therapy, proof the road hasn't stolen every ounce of comfort yet. 8. Transparent bags of mystery pills. Orange pill bottles rattle like maracas, advertising your stash to everyone within earshot. Solution, clear Ziploc bags. Transfer meds, label them with marker, or slip notes inside. Heartburn, blood pressure, keep heart ticking. Suddenly you've got organization, lighter weight, and stealth. The silence is golden. Of course there's risk. In the dark they look like trail mix. Midnight snacking could become Russian roulette. But mostly you gain control. Instead of fumbling with child-proof lids that mock arthritic hands, you zip and unzip with ease. You turn chaos into categories, noise into silence. Punchline? Bagged pills aren't just medicine, they're hope, survival, and maybe a snack if you're reckless. The world sees clutter. You see a pharmacy kit streamlined for the road. 9. Paper towels, Swiss Army linen. Forget napkins. Paper towels are civilization rolled up. Their uses spiral. Pillow substitute, makeshift diaper, midnight chili mop, or foot pad when blisters ambush you. Twist one into a bandage, wet one for a cooling rag, stuff one in your shirt for insulation. Paper towels bridge hygiene, medicine, and architecture, their dignity on a roll. Other campers may mock until their stew spills or their nose bleeds. Suddenly, your trash becomes their salvation. They're disposable, yes, but that's the point. Life on the road is messy, and you need something designed to vanish after the cleanup. Punchline? Paper towels are duct tape's softer cousin, strong enough to survive disasters, gentle enough to remind you humanity once wiped its mouth after dinner. 10. Hot hands, hot knees, hot cheese. Chemical warmers are witchcraft sealed in foil. Crack one, shake it, tuck it into boots, gloves, or knee wraps, and the betrayal of arthritis turns into tolerable warmth. They're pocket fire without the smoke, but why stop there? Stack 2 against a block of cheese, wrap in cloth, wait an hour. You've got makeshift fondue, gourmet, dining in the dirt. They also serve as emergency heating pads for stiff joints, or morale boosts when winter seems endless. Cheap enough to stockpile, small enough to carry, reliable enough to feel like cheating nature. Punchline? If you can't be young again, be warm. And if you can't be warm, at least melt cheddar like a king who refuses to die cold. 11. Grabber cane patent pending. Age demands you bend less, not more. Enter the grabber cane, a dream hybrid of walking stick and mechanical claw. Drop a coin, clamp it. Spot an apple just out of reach, snatch it. Left your flashlight on the ground? Reel it in without risking vertigo. Suddenly, you're not old, you're efficient. It becomes an extension of your will, like Dr. Octopus, but with better manners. It says, yes, my spine is stiff, but my reach is eternal. Plus, the comedy of grabbing something mid-conversation never gets old. Punchline? With a grabber cane, you're not disabled. You're a mobile crane operator, a one-man salvage crew, proof that ingenuity still beats gravity's smug grin. 12. Pee bottle versus puma. The bladder shrinks with age, demanding tribute at the worst hours. Midnight, barefoot, cold, stumbling into bushes, prime time for coyotes, raccoons, or the neighbor's loose pit bull. Solution: wide-mouth pee bottle. Plastic, discreet, screw-on lid. Keep it near your sleeping bag, and midnight relief is no longer a suicide mission. Saves energy, reduces exposure, spares your dignity. Sure, it's not glamorous, but compare it to explaining to paramedics why you were mauled half-dressed while watering a tree. Bonus: with careful aim, it doubles as fertilizer if you're ambitious. Punchline: the pee bottle isn't just convenience, it's risk management, bladder insurance, and the quiet acknowledgement that pride is overrated when cougars are prowling. Survival beats shame every single time. 13. The Honored Citizen Bus Pass. Cities rarely gift the homeless much, but the senior discount bus pass is one exception. Flash your ID, show your EBT, and suddenly fares are halved. The bus becomes more than transport. It's a climate-controlled refuge. Warm in winter, cool in summer, rolling entertainment courtesy of eccentric fellow passengers. For $1 or $2, you get mobility, temporary shelter, and an excuse to rest your bones without being shooed off a park bench. Buses also link you to bathrooms, libraries, soup kitchens, lifelines that expand your territory. Punchline: the Honored Citizen Pass isn't just about money. It's recognition you've survived long enough to earn a seat. The world rarely applauds persistence, but here's one system that still tips its hat. 14. Pamper the feet. Neglect your feet. Lose your independence. It's that simple. Past 60, blisters and infections take you out faster than broken bones. Daily care isn't luxury. It's survival engineering. Wash with wipes. Dry thoroughly. Rotate socks, and check for cracks or fungus. Massage them if you can, elevate them when resting, and treat shoes like tools, not fashion. Your feet carry the rest of you. When they go down, everything collapses. Happy feet mean longer walks, fewer injuries, more resilience. Ignore them, and you'll hobble into oblivion. Punchline: caring for your feet isn't vanity, it's maintenance on the chassis. A car without tires is junk. A hobo without working feet is finished. Respect them like royalty, because they are. 15. Beanie, hoodie, neck buff. Temperature swings punish the unprepared. Day bakes, night freezes, and your body, already worn down, can't adjust fast enough. Enter the Holy Trinity. Beanie, hoodie, neck buff. Lightweight, compact, layered defense. The beanie traps head heat, the hoodie shields the core, the buff seals drafts at the collar. Together they create a microclimate under your tarp. Bonus: you look like a street wizard gearing up for battle. Layers aren't fashion, they're insulation against chaos. Each piece weighs almost nothing, yet saves your body from energy-sapping shivers. Punchline: layering isn't style, it's survival cosplay. You're not dressing up, you're dressing down into something that tricks your frail body into thinking it still belongs outside. Onion armor for the elderly road warrior. 16. High-sodium night drinks. Bladders betray. They shrink, wake you hourly, force you into cold stumbles toward bushes. But salt, the ancient trickster, can help. A salty drink before bed slows the leaks, holding fluid longer. Sports drinks, broth, even salty water. Small doses work. You'll still wake, but less often, maybe twice instead of 6 times. Sleep becomes sleep again, not a parade of discomfort. Caution: too much salt and your blood pressure complains. But used right, it's tactical hydration. Punchline: salt at night isn't indulgence. It's bladder control without the pills. It buys you dreams, not just rest stops. Survival sometimes means gaming biology, tricking the body with chemistry so the mind can grab a little piece. 17. Naps. Permission. Granted. The culture says naps are lazy. Survival says naps are tactical. At 60 plus, your body doesn't run on one charge anymore. A nap at dusk splits the day into manageable halves, tricking your brain into thinking it's younger. That hour restores focus, reduces mistakes, and gives you endurance into the night. It's not weakness, it's strategy. Military forces use naps, athletes use naps, old hobos should too. Punchline? A nap isn't giving in, it's hitting refresh. You're not crashing, you're rebooting. When you wake, the world is less hostile, your legs less shaky, your brain less fogged. 1 hour in a quiet corner could mean the difference between collapse and carrying on. Call it a power down, then power up. 18. Rolled up. Towel pillow. Camping pillows betray. They deflate, slide, or vanish in the dark. Towels don't. Roll one tight, tie with cord, and you've got a pillow that molds to your skull. Shift it under your neck, fold it for elevation, or unfurl it for wiping spills. It multitasks without complaint. In wind, wedge it against your cheek as a shield. In rain, it doubles as absorbent barricade. It never leaks air, never collapses mid-dream. Punchline? A rolled towel is 6 tools in one. It's comfort, cushion, rag, insulation, windbreak, and dignity saver. Expensive camping gear is marketing. A towel is engineering. Simplicity doesn't fail because it can't. Sometimes the old way, the obvious way, is the best. 19. Hard candy snack. Late at night, hunger gnaws, but cooking feels impossible. Hard candy rescues. Sugar boosts metabolism, tricking your body into warmth. The sweetness lifts mood, turning bleak nights into bearable pauses. It's portable, cheap, and practically eternal. Stash butterscotch, peppermint, or root beer discs in your pack. Bonus, candy also moistens the mouth, easing thirst when water is scarce. It's a morale boost disguised as grandma's purse filler. Punchline? A midnight butterscotch isn't indulgence. It's a pep talk in sugar form. It whispers, yes, life is rough, but here's sweetness anyway. It's not nutrition. It's survival psychology. Sometimes the difference between despair and persistence is just one piece of hard candy dissolving slowly in the dark. 20. Heated blanket pad. USB. Technology occasionally throws you a bone. A USB heating pad plugged into a power bank feels like sorcery. Wrap it around stiff knees, thaw wet socks, or just bask like an old lizard on a rock. Warmth is dignity. It resets morale. It reminds you the world isn't entirely hostile. The pad is light, rechargeable, reusable. In a tent, it becomes a hearth. Even if only for 20 minutes, the relief is profound. Punchline? A heated pad isn't a gadget. It's civilization in cloth. Warmth on demand says you're still human. You still deserve comfort. For pennies of electricity, you reclaim what the cold stole. Not luxury, survival engineered through wires and stubbornness. 21. USB fan for summer. Summer tents are ovens designed by sadists. Airless, stifling, unforgiving. Enter the humble USB fan, clip it, plug into a battery pack, and suddenly the air moves. It doesn't cool much, but the illusion is enough. Sweat feels less suffocating. Your brain calms. The fan hum becomes lullaby, white noise against barking dogs and passing cars. Light, cheap, invaluable. Punchline? A fan doesn't beat summer. It tricks you into believing survival isn't misery. That sliver of breeze, however artificial, is mercy in plastic form. It doesn't save your body, it saves your sanity. And sanity is survival when the world insists you roast like forgotten meat. 22. Fast charger system. Time is currency. Normal chargers steal it, chaining you for hours in libraries or cafes. Fast chargers and big capacity batteries liberate. They turn 8-hour waits into 90-minute pit stops. Your phone, light, fan all recharge before staff side-eye you into leaving. Power equals options. Options equal freedom. Invest in cords that actually deliver and batteries that hold their promise. Punchline? A fast charger isn't technology, it's time travel. It buys you hours you can't afford to lose. On the street, those hours may be the difference between finding shelter or stumbling in the dark. Energy equals survival, but only if you can access it quickly. 23. Nasal inhaler. Allergies outdoors feel like drowning in pollen. Eyes itch, nose clogs, brain fogs. A cheap menthol nasal inhaler cuts through instantly. Small, portable, discreet. One sniff and airways open. Suddenly you're not suffocating, you're functional again. Punchline? A nasal inhaler isn't medicine, it's mountain air on demand. For $1, you transform misery into relief. The pack sees weakness. You see resilience. It's the difference between lying useless and walking strong, and that difference matters when every step is survival. 24. Stomach survival. Kit. Age plus processed food equals betrayal. Heartburn, reflux, cramps, constant sabotage. Carry omeprazole, antacids, Pepto. Daily maintenance turns chaos into function. It's not about indulgence. It's about staying operational. Stomach rebellion can cripple you, leaving you hunched, weak, immobile. Pills are cheap, light, life-saving. Punchline: stomach meds aren't luxury, they're riot police. They keep the digestive mob from overthrowing your survival plan. With them, you're in charge. Without them, you're curled in dirt, defeated by chili from a can. 25. Tree or tub lever. Getting up off the ground after 60 isn't graceful, it's slapstick. Knees creak, balance fails, arms flail. The solution is leverage. Always set camp near a sturdy tree or a solid object like a tub or bench. That anchor turns rising from humiliating turtle flop to steady, deliberate motion. Grip, push, rise with dignity instead of panic. Even a shopping cart or fence can become your throne room railing. Punchline: a lever isn't a luxury, it's survival engineering. Without it, you're rolling around in the dirt like an upturned beetle. With it, you're just a veteran of gravity's war, standing tall because wood or steel lent a hand. 26th Night Camp Navigation. The deadliest assassin after 60 isn't a mugger, it's the log you forgot to move. Midnight bathroom trips become obstacle courses. Clear your paths before bed, set guide sticks, mark exits, arrange your camp so navigation is idiot-proof in the dark. A stumble could mean broken bones, weeks of pain, or worse. Treat your camp like a minefield you've designed to disarm. Flashlight batteries die, muscle memory doesn't. Punchline: night navigation is risk management. You're not just rearranging sticks, you're drawing a survival map for your half-asleep future self. At 3 a.m., clarity saves you from injuries that don't heal as quickly anymore. Prevention beats every cure. 27. Wallet chain. Wallets vanish faster than dignity when you're sleeping rough. A chain clipped from wallet to belt solves that. Suddenly you're not a target for grab-and-go thieves. You can even nap without paranoia. It's not punk rock, it's practical. A clink of chain is better than realizing your ID, bus pass, or cash walked off in someone else's pocket. Punchline: a wallet chain is leash law for your dignity. Lose your shoes, fine. Lose your tarp, you'll replace it. Lose your wallet, you're done. A simple chain keeps bureaucracy, survival money, and proof of existence tethered where it belongs. 1 ounce of steel equals peace of mind. 28. Essential oils and spray. Survival stinks. Literally. Enter cheap essential oils and sprays. Lavender calms, peppermint deters rodents. Febreze masks tent funk. A dab on your wrist can soothe nerves. A splash near your tarp can convince raccoons to raid someone else. Oils weigh little but carry big psychological weight. They remind you the world can still smell good even when you don't. Punchline: essential oils aren't spa indulgence. They're survival's perfume. Half pest control, half therapy, half placebo, but wholly useful. Sometimes smelling lavender in the middle of a garbage-strewn camp is enough to convince your brain civilization hasn't abandoned you entirely. Call it camouflage for the soul. And there we have it, my fellow road veterans, the crooked catalog of hacks for surviving homelessness past 60. This isn't a handbook for comfort, but it's a field guide for persistence. Ride scooters like kings of fluorescent aisles, tuck hoodies between knees like orthopedic engineers, fire up cheese with hot hands, wield canes like dueling foils, and nap like generals planning midnight campaigns. Each trick is a brick in the patchwork fortress that keeps you going when your body mutinies and the world doesn't bother to offer retirement plans for wanderers. And remember, dignity may leak, socks may ferment, and joints may grumble, but wit and stubbornness are age-proof. I hope your road is a good one, and if you're homeless, I hope it doesn't suck for you. Peace out.